The big deal. Inside Elon Musk's incredible partnership with Russia. It's been a long time coming for Russia, as they are finally set to allow the world's most powerful industrialist and technocrat revamp their aging technological infrastructure many years after the fall of the communist regime that saw them rival the U.S. for technological dominance. But with Russia falling behind the U.S. and China in technological advancements since the Cold War, and Elon Musk establishing himself as the foremost entrepreneur of the decade with cutting-edge technological innovations, would a Russian partnership with Elon pay off and pull them out of the shadows? Find out in this video. Hi guys, welcome back to Glancy Tech, where we explore the much-anticipated Russian-Elon partnership. The buzzing news of the moment is the news of Elon Musk's potential partnership with Russia after the failed first attempt over 20 years ago. With Elon Musk much in a better position than he was over 20 years ago, the stakes are much higher than ever before. Elon Musk first visited Russia in 2001 when he was just starting Spacex using the profit realized from the sale of PayPal. He was in Russia to buy Soviet-era refurbished Dnepr ICBMs that could send the envisioned payloads into space. This would be used to kickstart SpaceX, but this did not work despite visiting Russia for negotiation with his friend Kim Cantrell about 3 times. Each time he traveled to Russia, the price of the ICBM was increased. After much frustration, Mr. Musk left Russia and decided to work on building his own rockets in the United States. When asked why he shunned Russia, he said he was discouraged because of corruption. He accused them of trying to extort him. 20 years down the line, it seems Russia is the biggest loser at the moment, as Russia has fallen remarkably behind the US and China in technological advancement, looking at the tremendous results Mr. Musk has generated. He has been able to establish himself as the leading industrialist of our time, and Elon Musk recently signaled his intention to expand into Russia. The Russians also have openly signaled their intention to welcome Mr. Elon Musk to Russia with a tweet from Russia's Ministry of Trade and Industry which reads, "Dear Elon Musk, we were delighted to learn that you were considering building a factory in Russia. By the way, we have a number of state support measures for local OEMs, Original Equipment Manufacturers, TASS. Come to see us, we'll talk about it. Regards, Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Russian Federation," the ministry tweeted. The message was further emphasized by the head of Russia's space agency, Mr. Dmitry Rogozin. Interestingly, the relation between the chief of Roscosmos and Mr. Musk and the U.S. was not good previously. For example, in 2014, after Russia was sanctioned by the U.S. and her allies, Mr. Rogozin offered a public rebuke of the sanction. "After analyzing the sanctions against our space industry, I suggest to the USA to bring their astronauts to the International Space Station using a trampoline," Rogozin said via Twitter. At that time, Russia was solely responsible for sending U.S. astronauts to space using the Soviet-era Soyuz rocket. He openly mocked the U.S. and her private space corporation Boeing and Spacex, which was in development at that time. By 2020, Mr. Musk stylishly referenced and mocked the tweet in return after successfully sending U.S. astronaut to ISS for the first since 2011. He said in May 2020 the trampoline is working. At another time in December last year, Mr. Rogozin shared social media photos from Rogozin of Roscosmos engineers working in the rugged Yakutia region of eastern Russia during winter, where temperatures were at a reported minus 61 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 52 degrees Celsius. "I wonder if gentle SpaceX is able to work in such conditions," Rogozin mused on social media, and made reference to SpaceX's launch center for Starship operations in the far balmier Boca Chica, Texas. But neither SpaceX nor Mr. Musk replied to the tweet. Considering the previous frosty relationship between the two, what could be the reason for the sudden change in the attitude of Russia towards Mr. Musk? Well, the answer is not far-fetched. The dominance of SpaceX has eroded the pride of Russia in space transportation. Until SpaceX came on the scene, the United States paid $400 million annually to Roscosmos for transportation of U.S. astronauts to space. This has been wiped with SpaceX's heavy rocket, which is cheaper and more advanced than the Soyuz. This probably alerted the Russians about the fact that they have fallen behind. Because Russia was once a world leader in the world of space exploration during the Cold War, the Russians were the first to send a man into space and orbit the Earth. The Russians were the first to send an artificial satellite. But how did the Russians degenerate to this level? How did they lose their competitive advantage? Since the end of the Cold War, Russian Roscosmos has been plagued with issues of budget reduction, and this has led to reduced space exploration despite having heavy family rocket like the Soyuz. The Soyuz was the major rocket that's been used for sending astronauts and deliveries to the International Space Station, until Tesla came on the scene to become the official first private company in the world to launch into the International Space Station last year, a feat that has since changed the world of space exploration. Little wonder Mr. Musk has been getting invitational messages from Russia. But how would Russia benefit from the partnership with Elon Musk? Russia, as of now, with a population of 144 million, has no concrete tech infrastructure. A partnership with Russia promises to change everything about the country. Looking at space exploration, for instance, a partnership with Spacex would certainly be the next big thing to watch out for. The establishment of Spacex assembly plant in Russia would give Mr. Musk and SpaceX access to Russian genius, and in return would stir up civilian space exploration interest into possibly notable Russian oligarchs like Roman Abramovich, Alexander Abramov, Oleg Deripaska, Mikhail Prokhorov, and many more who have been captivated by civilian space exploration led by billionaires like Jeff Bezos, who recently went to space on his Blue Origin commercial space exploration company. Another area of benefit is the area of green energy and electric cars. With the world battling climate change and the subsequent call for all countries to reduce carbon emissions to save the planet, green energy is the tech of the future, and without a doubt, Tesla is a world leader in the area, especially in the production of electric cars. Recently, Tesla became the first automobile company in the world to reach a market cap of $1 trillion. This is a result of the ever-increasing demand for electric cars as the world moves away from fossil fuels. Shockingly, Russia at the moment does not have any green infrastructure and electric cars. But with Tesla already in China and Germany, a corporation with Russia would certainly open Tesla to a new market that at the moment does not have any green energy infrastructure. Considering this fact, it means Russia is a virgin land for Elon Musk to explore. Elon Musk has been trying to figure the feasibility of a deal in Russia and asked project managers in Tesla to do a feasibility study on this. Probably we will get to see that anytime soon, will tell. But this is promising for Russia, who needs private foreign investors to bring them back on track. With all these said, one factor that could potentially prevent this from becoming a reality is the issue of sanctions. Currently, Russia as a country is battling with a lot of sanctions imposed on them by the US and her ally, the EU, because of the annexation of Crimea, a small border town with Ukraine, and also for human rights abuses by the government of Russia. These sanctions have dealt a big blow to Russia's economy and have also prevented foreign direct investment into the country. The Russians, on the other hand, are not happy and have even threatened to stop partnership with the US and her allies on the International Space Station. The head of Russia's space agency threatened earlier this year and has even said that Russia would by 2030 launch their own space capsule. Whether this works for them, nobody knows, but Russia knows all is at stake with a partnership with Mr. Musk. Do you really think Russia is serious and has what it takes to attract Mr. Musk? Let me have your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. That's all for today. If you found this video entertaining and enlightening, I want you to like and share and push the subscribe button for more updates from Glancy Tech.